The key to the National Broadband Plan is really the goal of pursuing innovation and investment and promoting that, and its underlying core of everything that's in the plan. That's what you all do every day, as I said, and as many of you know, the Commission recently released America's first ever National Broadband Plan, a comprehensive strategy for bringing high-speed internet access and its benefits to all Americans, including rural and traditionally disadvantaged Americans. The plan spans 376 pages, thousands of endnotes, and addresses topics from public safety to personal data. But when our team at the FCC was developing the plan last year, our leader then, he was executive director of the Omnibus Broadband Initiative, Blair Levin, said that in some sense the entire plan was about promoting just one thing: investment and innovation. And I'm here to tell you why he's right, and what we at the FCC are doing to promote opportunities for entrepreneurs from Silicon Valley to the Dallas Technology Corridor to help write the next chapter of America's broadband innovation story. First of all, I'll start with a brief history of entrepreneurship in America. Entrepreneurial, innovative, small businesses have been central to America's remarkable economic growth for much of our nation's history. But the actions of federal and state governments to remove persistent bottlenecks in the marketplace that quell innovation and investment, and to make basic investments in transportation, finance, and communications, have been equally important to spurring that economic growth. Unlocking opportunities for entrepreneurial leaders to invest with confidence in new ventures that create value for American consumers has been a critical underpinning of what is important about what government does. Take the example of electricity. The first commercial power station was built by Thomas Edison in Lower Manhattan in 1882. But transforming large-scale industrial processes to take advantage of this innovation was slow at best. As Professor Paul David points out in his paper, The Dynamo and the Computer, it was not until 40 years after Edison's first power station opened that factory electrification really began to take off. This diffusion lag, as he called it, was partially due to how unprofitable it was for private industry to replace production technologies based on water and steam power with technologies based on electric power. It was not until government-regulated regional utility rates for electricity were lowered substantially relative to the general price level in 1914 to 1917 that the transformation really began to take off. The work of the Rural Electrification Administration in the 1930s and 1940s to electrify America's farmlands and rural homes completed this transformation, allowing farmers to become more productive and driving private sector innovation in the American agricultural industry. And I think it's important to note that these weren't cases of government running amok, seeing a problem and then running to fix it. We're acutely aware that just because there's a market failure, that doesn't mean that government intervention will impose lower social costs. But by targeting measures to increase adoption of a general purpose technology like electricity or like broadband, the actions that government took with respect to electrification actually unlocked a tremendous amount of social benefit and spurred the creation of markets for applications, devices, and services that used electricity as an underpinning for their benefit. It is our intent to do the same with respect to the broadband ecosystem. I certainly don't need to convince the true believers in this crowd of the importance of broadband, particularly mobile broadband, for driving the next wave of technological transformation in this country. But although its benefits may be clear, in sectors of our economy where broadband can perhaps be most transformative, we still face diffusion lags and outdated regulations that are preventing entrepreneurs from coming off the sidelines and investing in innovative new products and services. There are two particular parts of the broadband ecosystem where this is true: our country's management of spectrum and the deployment of broadband to promote certain national purposes like healthcare, education, and energy.